Welcome to the podcast for and about Colorado Springs. I'm your host, Brittany Felix, and every Monday through Friday, I'll be talking about a different aspect relating to the Springs, including upcoming events, restaurant reviews, local business spotlights, media coverage about the Springs, public works projects, local activities, answering your questions about the city, and much, much more. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss any of the updates. And also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find links to all of those social media accounts at springspodcast.com/social media. The Colorado Springs podcast is proudly sponsored by Elevation Hydration. Elevation Hydration is the only hydration therapy clinic serving Colorado Springs, and they are dedicated to helping you elevate your life. They use intravenous vitamin therapy to help athletes needing a boost of energy or help recovering after a tough competition, people experiencing cold-like symptoms or dehydration from the flu, anyone needing to recover quickly from a rough night out. I'm looking at you, college kids. And just anyone wanting a healthy alternative to preventative care. They have a wide variety of hydration packages to help address whatever your needs are. They're conveniently located inside Lush Beauty Lounge at 812 Village Center Drive, and if you mention this podcast during your visit, you'll receive $10 off any hydration package. To learn more about Elevation Hydration or to schedule an appointment, visit springspodcast.com/hydrate. Welcome to episode 45 of the Colorado Springs podcast. If you read the title of today's episode, you probably already have a good idea of the special announcement that I'm going to be making today that I alluded to at the end of yesterday's episode. And that is the fact that, at least for a little while, this will be the last episode of this podcast. I think I've previously mentioned in the show that I actually have my own company. I am a podcast editor, producer, and consultant, and I actually have my own podcast production company. And I started with it full-time back in September when we settled down after our 2+ month road trip around the western United States. But for some reason here in just the past 2 months, my business has kind of exploded and it is dominating so much more of my time. So as this business grows and I continue to expand it and bring on more clients, I have to give more and more of my attention to that business. And so in order to do that, I am going to be taking a hiatus from doing this podcast for a little while. I hope to return back to it in the coming months once I kind of get into a better routine and start bringing on more team members for my business so that I can start outsourcing some of the work and not have to devote so much of my personal time to it. So with that said, I truly appreciate you listening to the show and subscribing and sharing and being involved and active and supportive of this amazing community. I love Colorado Springs. I am so happy that we are here. And I've truly loved doing this podcast, and again, I hope to come back to it in just a few months. I'm going to keep the podcast live on iTunes, and I'm going to keep my website live, and all of my social media accounts will stay active as well. I won't really be posting on Facebook or Twitter. I will probably still post images to Instagram, so that's going to be your best place to follow me. My handle on there is @SpringsPodcast. But of course, whenever this show does come back and is back up and running again, I will make announcements on every platform. So feel free to follow me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or even YouTube to stay up to date on everything that is happening and get that notification when I am producing more episodes. Again, thank you so much for being here with me and being supportive and loving this amazing city. I will see you again in just a few months.